Well, everyone, it's been a while since we've been in school. And for a lot of us, that means not seeing the people that we usually see. Today, I was able to talk with Miss Margaret from WOW, that's working on womanhood, about the things that we can do to keep ourselves grounded and mentally healthy and physically healthy during these times of isolation. Miss Margaret works with groups of students at Solorio, and her advice goes well beyond the things that she would say to those groups. She's going to walk me through the exercises that they do, talk about committed actions, and as always, weigh in with her recommendations as well as her own take on whether or not peanut butter is a vegetable. Here's the thing. We more or less settle it today. I really want to emphasize that even if you are not a member of Working on Womanhood, what she has to say here definitely applies to you. Enjoy the interview.
Okay.
I should have made some tea.
Yes, get some tea.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna go get some water though. Awesome. We'll just get started.
Okay.
Welcome everyone. We're here today with Miss Margaret. Miss Margaret, why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself and tell us about everybody else I've interviewed has been in a kitchen or in a office space. You appear to be
I'm in virtual space, y'all. I'm in virtual space.
So how are things going?
Things are going good. If you guys don't know me already, my name is Miss Margaret. I am the WOW counselor at Solorio High School. And I love what I do, and it's killing me to not be able to do it. I'm like twiddling my thumbs. I'm really not doing that great, not being able to connect with my students. But right now I am at my friend's house, her apartment is literally next door to my apartment. So I just walk out of my house and go to hers. And I'm sitting on the floor in the living room because it's white behind me, and that's how I get this nice screen. So that way you're not looking on into my business.
So as long as you're in front of a blank wall, you can put
right. So if you get in front of something that like has something on there, it'll get it'll catch stuff in the house. So you just have to be in front of something flat.
You are truly in the virtual space.
I am truly in virtual space.
Coming to us live from the internet, Miss Margaret. So for people, there might be some people watching who, they hear about WOW on the announcements, or they hear, oh, I've got to go to a WOW meeting today.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say someone's watching, they're like, you know what, I've always actually been wondering what WOW is. Now I've got all this time.
I have all this time.
What does WOW do? What do you do with WOW?
Yes. So WOW stands for Working on Womanhood. It's a sisterhood of young women who are learning all kinds of social emotional skills in terms of managing emotions, managing healthy relationships, developing leadership skills, problem solving skills, how to be assertive, how to increase our confidence and our self-esteem so that we can navigate high school and then everything that comes after high school, like college and getting a job. So our main kind of idea here is that the act of becoming is perpetual. I'm always working on womanhood. Even right now, I'm still working on being my best self. And so we meet once a week in the counseling center, and we talk about everything under the sun. And most of it is focused on skill building too. So a lot of times you'll see the girls say, oh, I have to do this committed action, or I have to interview this person, or I have to have this really difficult conversation with a relative about the day I was born. But it's really about getting to know yourself, becoming more self-aware of who you are so that you can truly express that and navigate the world better. So I hope I said that. I hope that's approved.
Yeah. Well, it's the Wild West now.
Yeah.
So did you say they have to do a committed action? Was that the?
Yes. So a committed action.
Explain a committed action. What?
A committed action is like a challenge. I always use this example. Let's say that you are with a partner. You're with your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You're with your partner, and you have been complaining about something going on in your relationship. Your committed action might be to explicitly state your needs and your want to that partner, which is not something that we always do,
No,
because we
I'm
always
bad
like
at that.
finagle our way around it, especially as women. So your committed action is that you need to clearly and directly state what it is that you need and what it is that you want. And then, depending on your partner's response, you then have the committed action to terminate that relationship, because you're saying that it's not good for you and you're telling us that it's not good for you, and yet you're still with that person. So I always use that example because it's just easy and most people can relate to that. But another example academically might be students feeling really overwhelmed and stressed out about tests that they need to take. A committed action might be talking to that teacher that they're afraid to talk to, or I feel like so and so doesn't like me, or that teacher doesn't like me, or well, you don't really know that. You know, that's an assumption that you're making, but really you just need to get the material. So your committed action is to go and approach that teacher and tell them what you're struggling with. A lot of students are struggling. They say, well, have you been in tutoring? No. Have you been in office hours? No. Okay, well, that's your committed action then. So we stack the committed actions on top of each other, and the students are able to earn their purple, at least in my program, at least. Like, you shouldn't be wearing purple if you're not doing your committed actions. Really taking the actions that it takes to get yourself better where you need to be.
I think I need to go change my shirt then, because I need to work on committed actions myself.
Yeah.
So, and this is something that, I mean, obviously this is, you brought up relationships, you brought up academics. I'm imagining this can go in every direction.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an example of one of the skills that you're working on womanhood.
Yes. And then the main component of this also obviously is mental health. So we're working on anxiety and depression and trauma. And those conversations are tough. I think especially for Black and Brown folks, we don't talk to therapists, we don't talk to counselors. Everything that happens is supposed to be, in the house. And I respect that wholeheartedly. But mental health is just as important as our physical health, and making sure that we can be intellectually healthy so that we can learn. So a lot of what we do is around maintaining a positive mental health.
Right. So I'm imagining right now students and people in general are obviously mostly at home, and they're not leaving, and they're not able to access maybe some of their informal resources, such as friends, I don't know, activities that they enjoy, but they're also not able to, for people in your group especially, they're not able to meet with you. So what has that looked like over it's been what, it's been a week now? It's gotten to the point now where it feels like it's been forever. So what does that look like for WOW?
To be honest with you, that is the thing that I worry about the most, porque I can't, I'm not authorized yet to communicate with them. So outside of like a phone call check-in to a parent, I'm not able to communicate with my students. And that is literally breaks my heart. But I trust that my girls have been practicing the skills that we've been learning when we've been in group. And this is truly the time to put those skills to the test and to put them into practice. We've been working on coping skills since day one, on self-care skills since day one. My girls, they could lead this training. They could tell you what to do to keep yourself mentally stable and sane during a time of isolation. But really, it is when you think about depression and anxiety, these are really the ingredients. The entire world is at a halt. There's great fear about what to happen. Oops, I'm sorry, y'all. Great fear about what to happen, and there's so much false information going on around on the internet about what is actually going on. People are isolated inside their homes. Social isolation in and of itself is a great risk factor for depression and for paranoid thoughts to begin to fester. Then you have when you're bored, you're eating more. So folks are, eating throughout the day, which is affecting their weight and the way their body is regulating itself. And then you're sleeping more, which is affecting the way your body can regulate itself. And so all these ingredients, it's really like a really bad pot to, foster some feelings of depression, anxiety. So I worry about that. We really have to be proactive. We have to be proactive in maintaining a routine so that we can keep ourselves mentally alert and well to be able to combat what we're doing. And then, of course, a lot of us find ourselves in very stressful environments, and then the more stress or your immune system, and it can just really topple over. So it really is up to us to be as proactive as possible with the resources that we do have available.
Right.
We just gotta get creative. We gotta get creative. And I always tell my girls, like, we come from generations. My mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, my great great grandmother. Our ancestors. Those indigenous peoples who plotted the earth before we came. We come from generations of survivors. We come from generations of people who have had to toil and make a way through various different kinds of pandemics. So we have to really draw and pull from that strength when it feels like we are, out on a limb by ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Right. You're saying we're not out on our limb by ourselves.
No, it feels like it, but you're not.
Right. So I heard you say routines, things like that. So, I mean, I know for me personally, before I try to tackle the big things, it's easier if I have kind of the small things taken care of first.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to not go outside right now. And I know my day is a lot better if I just even get a 10-minute walk in.
Yeah. I took a morning walk today. Every morning. It's good to for me, it's like the first thing that I do. I hop up out of bed, I pull on some jeans, and I just go outside. And that fresh breath area wakes you up. You get your blood flowing, you walk. It feels so good. Get outside. Go outside. If you haven't been outside yet today, go. Take a walk around the block. Sit on the porch and drink lemonade. Something.
Right. And so if I'm sitting at home and I'm stressing about my APs or some work that I didn't get done in school, you're saying first take care of the small things, you can tackle those big things later.
Yeah, for sure. And start with your body, take a walk, drink a tall glass of water, eat some fruit, whatever. Start with you first. Check in with your body. My girls, we do the body scan. We call it head, heart, and hands. Where's your head? Where's your heart? And then how are your hands? What's happening with the rest of your body? So check in with yourself. Check in with your body first.
So head, heart, hands, would that mean that first I try to think about what thoughts I'm having?
Yeah, become aware of your thoughts. Are my thoughts positive? And just label the thoughts. So, that's a worry. That's a concern. That's a question. My brain is problem solving. Okay, take a deep breath. What is my heart doing? Am I feeling a sense of loss? Am I feeling a sense of grief? Or am I feeling super motivated or intentional about something? Do I feel like I want to get something done? And then what am I doing with my body? Am I pacing? Am I breathing really hard? Twiddling my thumbs? Am I shaking? Am I moving my, how they bounce their knees up and side?
Yeah.
So just head, heart, and hands. Take a deep breath between each one, and you're just calling awareness to each of those parts of yourself.
Okay, so like right now for me, my head, generally today it's been a little bit focused on, do I have enough students checking in with me? Are they doing the work? Am I assigning too much busy work? Am I not assigning enough work? Those are my worries. Mm-hmm. So the worries in my head. And then my heart would be maybe feeling a little bit bored or a little bit antsy, but also at the same time, like having some space of calm with my family. And then with my hands, I do feel, I'm sitting on this kind of exercise ball and I just sort of bounce all day. And it's nice, but I also do think I have a lot of pent up energy.
Yeah. That's perfect.
So head, heart, hands. Great.
Head, heart, hands.
You might not have any information on this and we might just edit this out. But if a student's watching this and they're like, oh, when do I get to talk to Miss Margaret again?
Yes. So I thought it was going to be tomorrow. And my girls know that I created a WOW conference for tomorrow. But I literally just got notice at this morning that we cannot do this week at all. They're still having conversations with CPS about whether or not Zoom is an appropriate interface and what they want us to do. So as of right now, we're not allowed to have any contact with students until March 30th, which is like that's a whole week from now. I know.
30th.
Yeah, that it feels not fun, but we can do it. We can do this. So you'll hear from me over email, and you're welcome to send me emails as you've been doing. But we can't get on a video chat or anything like that, at least until next week.
And then you're planning to do, because I have seen a lot of counselors, therapists, and I don't know with students, but with adults throughout the country have moved towards
the teletherapy. Yes. Yeah, so even when we do get onto our Zoom teletherapy system, it will still have to be in a group setting. So the alphas, betas, deltas, you guys each have your own time. You can all log on and we'll have our group session, not group session, we'll have group check-in,
Right.
on the Zoom, but we won't ever be able to do one-on-one via Zoom. It will always have to be in the group
Great. Great. Is there anything else about WoW before I ask you for your recommendations and then move on to my Ask Science question of the day?
Wow, I mean,
I,
WOW is across the entire city. There's literally thousands of us. It's really a movement, I think, of wellness. It's a movement of women supporting each other around wellness and being well and being healthy. So I know a lot of folks are like, oh, it's for the bad kids, or it's for the kids who are failing, or it's for the kids who have problems. That is not at all the case. Talk to a WOW student, get to know her, and you'll see that is not the way that is not her mentality at
mm-hmm,
all.
mm-hmm. Great. Well, thank you. So for this part of the show, I'm going to ask you for some recommendations in terms of something to read,
Sure.
something to watch, something to listen to. So
Okay.
what are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to?
Okay. I'm reading this book. You can't see it.
Oh, no, we got it. Essentialism, Greg McCune.
Yes. It's Essentialism by Greg McCune, and it's about, you can't even see it if I try to pull it in, but because it's flat
I'll
white.
put up. I'll do a little bit of. I'll do some interesting editing and get a little
Okay,
picture in
can you
picture.
interestingly edit that title there?
Yeah, we will try. Yeah.
Okay, so this book is about cutting out all of the miscellaneous things in your life that don't matter so that you can focus on what is most essential. A lot of times our energies are really disparate and we're doing 10 things at any given time, and that fuels our sense of anxiety and our sense of loss of control because we're really trying to do everything all the time. When you really can get clear with yourself about what is most important, if what is most important to you right now is your family, then quítate el celular, quítatelo. Go and sit with grandma and read her story because that is what you have identified as most essential to you. ¿Y qué le importa lo que dicen en Snapchat? Because your grandma's not on Snapchat.
Right.
So you can't tell me that this is important to you, but then this is what you're doing with your actions. So find out what is most essential and then spend your time doing that and don't worry about the other stuff.
Right.
Literally.
And if your grandma is on Snapchat, congratulations to your grandma.
Then you can do like some fun TikToks with her and the world's really happy.
Right. There we go. Yes, spread it out from that base.
Exactly. And then what I'm listening to, I've been listening to a bunch of stuff. I mean, I've been mostly listening to like 90s R&B when I'm cooking. You know, I like Ashanti and Ja Rule and Nelly and Kelly Rowland and
Nelly's
Destiny
from
Child.
St. Louis. There we go.
Yeah, I'm constantly listening to 90s R&B. Aaliyah, you know.
If someone listening has never intentionally committedly listened to any 90s R&B, if they're like, oh, 90s R&B, I don't really know what Miss Margaret means, one track.
Ooh,
I know maybe that's not fair, but just what do you
it's one from Brandy. It's one from Brandy and it's called Best Friend.
Okay, Best Friend from Brandy.
Brandy, Best Friend.
The link will appear right here at the end of this show. Okay, so Brandy, Best Friend by Brandy. And then watch anything, TV, movies?
So I am stuck in I don't have a television in my house, first of all. I've never had a television since I left my parents' house to go to college. And then that was the end date of my television watching. But this whole pandemic has me watching TV now. And I'm watching Siempre Bruja. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's on Netflix. And it's about this girl who is Afro-Latina and she was a slave in the 1600s and she falls in love, but then she gets sent to the future, and then in the future she's not a slave and she's able to use her voice and be assertive and like, you know, exert her will on the world around her. And so then she has to go back to the olden days and try to free the slaves. So,
there's a movie coming out like this. I think. There's also Octavia Butler's Kindred.
Yes.
Similar, but wrong direction.
Wrong direction.
Right. And this is a TV show?
Yeah, it's a Netflix series called Siempre Bruja, or Always a Witch. And of course, you know, you can watch it in English or in Spanish. It was created in Spanish and shot in Spanish. I think they're in Colombia. I'm really not sure where they are, but you can watch it in English or Spanish
Okay.
or use the subtitles and stuff.
Awesome. Siempre bruja.
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
Great. Okay. Final question of the day. I made this as a joke question.
No, don't ask me the joke question yet. I got one more thing to tell you.
Oh, good.
The thing about journaling. So you asked me, students are like,
Here's the challenge. Here's the challenge for students. Here we go. Okay.
So journaling, you're gonna create lists. Okay. So in my journal, hey, you still can't see. I wanted to show my journal. Ugh.
You can
Okay.
if you send me a
Let's see here.
a picture.
So
you can remove the.
basically, the idea here is that sometimes it's hard to know what to say, right? What am I journaling? What am I saying?
Right.
Who am I talking to? What you can do is you can just create lists. So I would do, hold on, now I can't see myself. So for example, in my journal, I have list of gratefulness. You still can't see
I can see it. I can see on my screen. I can see it. I mean, it's kind of hard to read, but it's there. If you send me a photo of it, I can.
So you just make some lists. So I have a list of my coping skills, a list of my support system, a list of things to do, a list of essentials, a list of affirmations, a list of gratefulness. So if you don't know what to write, just make a list. Just make a list.
Can you
just list it like people who I want to talk to in the next 24 hours.
Okay, so I'm as soon as we finish this interview, I'm doing my daily writing because I told the students write for 15 minutes a day, so I need to too. Give me 3 lists to write. People
things that make me laugh.
Oh, good. So yeah, people talk to, things that make me laugh. I'll take 2.
Smells, interesting smells.
I like the word interesting because interesting can be good or bad.
Interesting smells. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to put any qualities on them. I'm not going to say if it's good or bad, just interesting.
Interesting smells. You could also do, what are the lists that I have? I have a list of gratefulness, things I'm grateful for.
I'll just do that. That's always a good one to do. Okay.
Yeah, and then I have a list of prayers, and you can just bullet point them. You don't have to say it all out. You can just like bullet point them.
Fantastic. Well, that gives me 5 lists to write.
Yeah. That should take,
well, I probably won't even finish in 15 minutes. This will be an ongoing thing. Yeah, because I do know journaling, I'm very guilty of this. I just tell students, go journal. You feeling something? Go journal. Write about it. And they look at me and they say, about what? And I say, I don't know, figure it out. And then when I try to do that, it doesn't work.
Exactly. I mean, my girls, they journal every group session, and sometimes they're like, we have to do a journal. And other times they have to say, okay, girls, stop. Like, it's time to not journal anymore. But we've done some really fun journaling prompts, like, what's in your attic?
Ooh.
Ooh. Stuff like that. And then you could take that to mean literally what are those objects, or, what is the meaning of those objects?
We can get English class on it. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, you can get our English class on it. Exactly.
So for the question, again, this question, thank you for reminding me about the journaling point. This question started off, I thought it was a joke question. I've asked science teachers now. They don't have clear answers. No one has a clear answer. So I just want to answer this however you see best. Okay. Is peanut butter a vegetable?
No, of course not. It's not. So, it can't be a vegetable because peanuts aren't even vegetables.
But so and why aren't peanuts vegetables?
Because they're nuts.
But why isn't that? But what is a vegetable then? I think about has to come. So I agree with you because I think it's a vegetable unless it comes out of the ground or it's a leaf. Right?
I think of okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm just gonna call it there. I think I find we agree completely. It doesn't matter if somebody says technically it's a vegetable because it's not actually a vegetable.
I have no idea. I like peanuts though, and yes. I might have peanut butter for dinner.
that is the one thing that is forcing us to go to the grocery store is we ran out of peanut butter.
Yeah, ran out of peanut butter. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
Thank you so much, Mr. Buse.
Thank you, Miss Margaret. I'm going to stop the recording, then we can talk for a second. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Miss Margaret. I had a great time going and journaling my own lists, as I said I would do in that video, and my challenge to you is to have you do that at home. If you're in my class, you can check my lists out on those documents that you've been shared with, but for the rest of you, go ahead. Write down one of these, things that make you laugh, smells that are interesting, just general gratefulness things, or any variety of lists. Until next time, this is Mr. Buse signing off.